Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen for the 8th round of the V8 League Racecentre for 2020. Today we're at Sandown and it's the first of our Enduros. That means it's just one long race, 90 minutes, 80 laps. So tonight's double points for the boys. We're racing at Sandown Raceway as mentioned in Springvale, Victoria. And the weather is clear at the moment. So I've got a couple of new guys and a couple of new liveries to look at as well. So let's get to it. We've just joined the qualify session. So we'll just bring up the times as they are at the moment, but everyone should be out on the out lap. So the new liveries, Thomas Foster's sporting a new livery in the Ford Mustang. Let's see who he sponsors. Fanatec, Bunnings, Total Tools. Also, we've got Daniel Opedasano in the HSV livery as well. He's our championship leader, and I'll get to that in a second. And we've got a new driver tonight in the Pasquale livery. That's Zeb Shalou. He's proving to be quite quick off the bat. So, going to be good. These guys are really close tonight. So, 80 laps, it's all about tyre wear and pit stops. So it looks like Opedasano's setting the faster lap at the moment, close behind is Foster. And Hello Caesar half a second back at the moment. Everyone's on the PB, so track's improving and coming to them. They've got the choice of soft or hard tyres tonight, so depending on pit strategy, they could be mixing up the compounds. There's no real minimum compound for them tonight because it's open slather. It's a long race. And it depends on obviously tyre wear, length, compound and lap times. We see Zeb just getting a bit loose on the curbs there. Turn 2 and 3, the two little chicane, that's really throwing the cars around at the moment. So if the guys can find a way to get through there smoothly, that's where they're going to gain most of the time. Trent Grubel going up into P1 at the moment with a 104.3. He's just in for a new set of tyres and he'll be out on his out lap. He's a bit of a cutter ahead. So also in the server tonight we've got, who else we got? We've got Hello Caesar in the Cooler Master livery. We've got Marty Bennett in the HSV Mobile 1 entry, Middy's Electrical. Brad Martin for Aces Racing. Nathan Mannix had to switch cars for tonight's event. Just having trouble with the Castrol Kelly Racing car with tyre compounds. David Baker definitely improving today. He missed last round due to personal reasons, but he's back with a vengeance tonight. Practicing times were up there in the top 4. And his teammate Bryce Royal in the number 12 entry. Coming through in the turn 1 of Sandown. Currently in P9. Ross Licciardi joining us again from Melbourne. He was mid-pack. So let's see how he does being a local to Sandown. He should have the hometown advantage. Troy Cieslawski's joining us again in the net entry for Kelly Racing. And we've got Racecentre boss and owner Enda Murphy joining us in the Red Bull entry. So I'll just show us the current championship standings at the moment. So as you can see there, P1's Daniel Opedasano on 127. Behind him's Hello Caesar 107. Nathan Mannix moving up a couple of spots in the P3 after last round. He's on 71 points. David Baker, because he missed that last round, has dropped one spot. Bradley Martin improving. Trent Grabell on 62. All three of those 4 to 6 are all on 62 points at the moment. Greg Gavalis couldn't make it again tonight. Last minute withdrawal. And Thomas Foster moving up the ladder in P8. James Delaney couldn't make it again. Work commitments running a bit late, so he'll miss this one. And Anthony Bisma as well, stuck at work. So there's your top 10 for the season so far, and that'll shift after tonight's race, because tonight, not too sure if I've mentioned before, but it's double points. So the leader's really going to be stretching their advantage, or a good opportunity to gain if the leaders should come into some trouble. We'll go back to the times with 2.5 minutes to go. And still Grabell at front, just ahead of Foster and Opatasano P3. Trent's a seasoned real-life driver, so not too sure if he's been a Sandown, maybe for the Toyota 86 series. Just go on board for a lap. See how he gets it done. He's coming in the last turn. Up into 13 onto the main straight. Taking turn one quite early, nice and smooth. Staying out wide, braking late, missing that first curb down to first onto the main straight. It's important not to get on the gas too early, otherwise you end up on the inside rails there, and you definitely deficit your top speed, or sacrifice your top speed into turn 6. As we go down the hill, turn 7, 8. And heavy braking into turn 9, going under the Jim Beam Bridge. Up through turn 10 into turn 11. It's on purple sectors, so he's really on a hot lap this one. Hope I don't jinx him. As it looks like he's lost the middle sector there, only just. Still, he's... Okay, we missed Thomas Foster, so he's just posted the fastest lap of the race. So better look out for the yellow Mustang. We'll have to get a good look at the sponsor on the side. Looks like self-sponsored. Okay, Marty Bennett, strong performance tonight in P5. Getting a bit loose there, coming out of T4. He's on his PB at the moment, so this should be a good one for him. That looks like the end of the session, so he better post a good one on this lap, otherwise that's it, and he'll be starting in P6. Brad Martin moving up into P5. Looks like Zeb's parked in the garage, so he'll be starting the race in P9. Oslicciati also parked in the garage for Boost Mobile Mustang. Looks like most of the guys are in the pits. We've still got Nathan Mannix hoping to improve on his P8. This is uncharacteristic from him, so he wants to qualify up a bit further. But again, it is an 80-lap race, so I don't think he's going to worry about that. Okay, so looking Okay, so we're just going to look at the qualifier results. And it's Thomas Foster taking pole with a 104.122, closely followed behind Tranquil Bell in P2 with a 104.285. Daniel Opedasano on the second row and Hillel Caesar. Bradley Martin, good job in P5. Marty Bennett, P6. David Baker, P7 with a 105.981. And Nathan Mannix in the DeWalt with a 106 flat. Seb Chilou in P9 and Ross Licciardi in P10. Okay, so the guys are just getting ready for the start of the race. And we'll just go to a couple of commercial breaks. With thanks to our sponsors, Julie on James at Burley Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars Limited Edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Jewellery on James.
In town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way, crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian Whiskey.
Okay, welcome back. We're just waiting for a couple of boys to come back. Okay, guys are just checking, making sure we're ready to go. Who's in the yellow car?
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Okay, so we're back live. Guys are gridding up, setting up the cars. 80-lap race tonight, 90 minutes long. All right, so we're going to start with a formation lap. 13 drivers tonight. Let's just see the others. There was Bryce Royal, Andy Murphy, and Troy Cieslowski. Okay, so we're all just rolling up, warming up tyres. Someone's already crashed on the formation lap. Obviously not warmed the tyres up enough. Could have been Bryce Royal in the back there. Alright, so Thomas Foster on pole. Just go back over the... So starting on pole, Thomas Foster, Trent Grabel, Daniel Opatisano, Halil Caesar, P4. He's in the Cooler Master Purple entry. Third row of the grid, Bradley Martin. He's in Aces Racing Team. Marty Bennett in the Middies Mobile 1. P9 Zeb Shalou in the Penrite. Ross Licciardi in the Boost Mobile Mustang. Bryce Royal P11. Enda Murphy P12. And starting in P13 will be Troy Cieslawski. Okay. 80 lap monster race. So I assume we're going to see 2 to 3 pit stops depending on what the guys do with strategy. It's all about nursing the tyres, changing your driving style to suit the tyres. It is relatively a short pit lane, so there's not much of a sacrifice changing tyres. And it's a good run into the pit lane. The guys have got to be careful to be at the right speed. All right, we're a long way back from the start of the race. Here we go, lights are on. And we're off, and they're about 5 wide down the main straight. Thomas getting a good start, but it looks like Daniel Opatisano's going to put the pressure on into turn 1. So we've got a crash down the back already. That's Zeb Shalou and Marty Bennett in the Mobile 1 entry. Oh. Got someone up the back there. We're watching Brad Martin at the moment. He's up into P4. Front 4 have kept their nose clean and they're starting to stretch out. Bryce Royals dipped down back into P12 and our rookie Zeb Shalou's main unfortunate come together down the main straight. Murphy's improved up 3 places, but here comes the big dive bomb from Trent Grabel. He's just apologised on team radio. Like Ricardo, he says, I'll do better. Alright, so we're watching Baker in P5 down the main straight. Opatisano commanding lead. As Trent Grabel took out the leader, Tom Foster. Looks like where is Foster? I can't see him. He's down in a P10, so that's going to hurt at the moment. But look, it's early days yet. The drivers just need to settle down. Foster's just making his way through. He's already up into P8, so he's just got to ping them off one by one. It's Opatisano, Cesar, and Martin top 3. We see Baker in the middle there in P4, Mannix P5, and Martin in a P3. Excellent position for him. Baker's trying to get up the inside, but it's not the best position to overtake. Coming in at turn 11, 12 and 13 onto the main straight. They are building a gap as Operasono posts the fastest lap again, 105.639. Baker's up the inside. Will he get it into turn 1? Who's the deepest breaker? Looks like Baker's trying to get it. And he gets the job done. Well done. That's Baker up in a P3. Martin and Mannix back in 4 and 5. Licciardi's close behind as well. He's going to come up the back, and Foster's already up in a P7 trying to get up in a P6. So we see Ross just running wide there, giving Foster easy pass through, move up into P6. Ross is trying to come back on him. Ross doing a good job to stay behind Foster. He's just got to follow him as he cuts through the back of the pack. Foster's posted the fastest lap of the race with a 105.416. Operasono out front, stretching ahead of Caesar with a 2.7 second gap, and Baker, Martin, Mannix probably slowing each other down for 3rd, 4th and 5th, but that's not their worry. They're happy to race each other. They've got a lot of respect for each other because they've been together all season so far. Okay, Zeb Shiller's got Bryce Royal close behind. We've got 3 withdrawals already. Rubel, Bennett and Murphy. They didn't want to stick with it after that first lap incident. And Trent Rubel's probably embarrassed after running deep in a turn 9 into the leader, Thomas Foster. But Foster's still with it. He's moving up the front. And he's currently in P6. So this will be a 4-way battle for P3 at the moment. That's where all the action is. As we see, Caesar just going through turn 1, and here comes Baker, Martin and Mannix. So we'll just go on board with Foster. He's definitely showing a lot of pace. This will probably slow him up for the top 3, as Operasono and Caesar got some great breathing space out the front there. As Mannix just overcooks the braking in a T9, allowing Foster close up the back. And he's hit the ripples. He's not going to get much grip there, and Foster's going to easily get up the inside there, down the main straight. So he moves up into P5. See Mannix in the mirrors there. Going through turn 1. The next driver in front's Bradley Martin, and then Baker in the shell entry. Okay, we've got a yellow flag. Sector 1, that's Troy Jaslowski. Just rejoining the track, coming in the turn 4 there, onto the main straight, down the back straight. Go back to see Foster right on the back of Martin. Martin doing a good job. Just staying true to his lines. He's not going to be balked by Foster in the rear vision mirror. We'll go up on board with Bradley Martin. We can see Foster getting up on the inside, going through turn 9. Or is that turn 4? Turn 4 and 5 we are. Right up close. Foster trying to get deep into the draft, but he's pulled out and lost time. As Brad Martin's protecting his inside line, they're not giving Foster any chance of getting through. It's quite tough to overtake on this circuit unless you do get a good run or the driver in front makes a mistake. David Baker really driving some consistent lap times at the moment. His fastest lap of the race is 106.2. Thomas Foster still with the fastest lap of the race with a 105.416. We've got Baker in front, and in the mirrors we've got Foster behind. So Brad really in the middle of this mix here. Only 0.4 of a second behind Baker. Going down the back straight into turn 6. Different lines there, a bit wider for Bradley, missing the inside. Oh, Foster really going deep under brakes, gets the outside, makes a bump and run. And that's Foster getting up the inside of Martin. We're back on board with Baker in his sights. He wants to move up into P3 so he can get a clear track. Opadasano stretching his lead out front. We can see Foster a bit stronger under brakes in turn 1 than Baker, but Baker's taking it nice and easy. Protecting his line there, you can see Foster really getting loose there, not giving him enough power early on, and it's going to affect his top speed, but he's up the back of Baker in the draft again. As we look back, no. Foster's all over the back of Baker now, trying to make an issue, make Baker nervous, but Baker's taking the inside line, but he's left himself open there. Fortunately, he's just taken that curve a bit too much. So back up front, we've got the leader, Daniel Opadasano. He's 5.1 seconds ahead of Halil Cesar in the Coolamars entry, doing a good job there. Quite comfortable in second place. That's Bryce Royal just behind him in 10th place at the moment, just being lapped. Back with Baker and Foster. Will Foster get the job done here? He's got to get up closer. preparing himself for turn 9. That's a good overtake position. Really taking it easy. Bryce Rolls received a penalty, probably for not yielding under the blue flag. Baker really taking turn 9 quite nicely, as you can see, gaining on Foster. Tap of the brakes as they go into 13. Foster's really loose there, taking the inside line, with Baker stretching that gap, taking a lot smoother. You see Baker go through Foster, really closing in, and here comes Martin as well in the Aces Racing entry. And Mannix back there in the DeWalt entry, waiting for something to happen with these three. This is where the battle's at. Oslicciardi in the Boost Mobile, currently in P7, lapping in the 106s. He's 12 seconds behind Mannix in that group of 4 up ahead. Seb Chalou is P8 at the moment. Doing a good job for his first race with us. See Baker's dropping down the order. Missed what happened there. Looks like he's locked it up. He's getting loose, so he's dropped a couple of spots. Quite unfortunate. Foster really taking that curb. He really wants to start gaining on Caesar and Opedisano up the front. Anything can happen. As we know, Foster's been in the lead in another race and accidentally lost the lead at the last minute. So hopefully Opedisano and Caesar keep it on track, but Foster really has to work hard to get in the top 2 positions. So as you look at the positions gained, the biggest climber is Czeslowski down in P9. He's moved up 4 spots. Pretty much everyone's moved up 2 or 3 spots. And Foster, after that first or second lap incidents, dropped a couple, but he's could have been a lot worse. He's definitely climbing up the front as he jumps over the curbs at turn 2 and 3. Only 1 stop at the moment for Bryce Royal. That's probably... No, Baker's also come in the pits for his set. That's probably where Bryce Royal has received that pit lane penalty for speeding pit lane. Okay, so Foster at the moment is 15.4 seconds behind. Just back we've got Martin and Mannix still together. Whoa, we can see Mannix just getting loose there. He's lost it. Under brakes. Will he lose any positions regaining? No, quite safely rejoining in P5 as Baker's taken his first pit stop of the day. He's gained back on Martin for some reason. I'm not too sure if Martin's stayed back for him for some reason. It definitely wasn't his fault. It looked like Mannix had locked up and got it loose. It's lap 16 already, so not too sure how the tyres are faring at the moment. Their lap times are still quite low, still respectable, so I'd say they're managing quite well. Bradley Martin really locking up there, probably needs to adjust his brake bias there, bring it bring it more forward. Looks like the rears are locking up. As the tyres get older, it's good to bring it forward a bit more. Okay, so we're seeing Mannix diving into pit lane. Czeslowski also in. So he's got both sets. So he's probably going to rejoin. Where's Baker? We'll see where Baker's at. So he's coming on the main straight. So he's still ahead of Baker, as we can see. Mannix just rejoining there. You can visually see the gas about 13 seconds. Not too sure if it's that much, but I'm sure the timing will change. Visually it looks like about 5 or 6 seconds at top speed. Obertasano's still out front. Caesar catching slightly on Obertasano at the latter end of the stint on these tyres. As he's up to 4.2 behind the leader. Maybe he got stuck behind, Obertasano got stuck behind his cousin Ross Licciardi. So we can see they're together on track at the moment. Daniel's racing from Queensland and Ross on screen is racing from Melbourne. Ross currently in P8 at the moment. His last lap was a 1:08 and his best lap's a 1:06.774. Foster definitely improving. He's up a couple of seconds on the leaders. Once he's past Martin, Mannix and Baker. Chaleu's up into P5. He's yet to pit. So he's doing a good job at the moment. He's our rookie of the night. And that could be Bryce Royal just in front of him in P9 at the moment. As Zeb comes in for his set of tyres. Will he take all four? He's got the right set on and the left set. So we see Mannix retaking P5 at the moment while he's in pit lane, and Baker should be close behind as well. Czeslowski just going through screen at the moment in P1, and that's Nathan Mannix in P5. Okay, Troy just moving out of the way for Nathan Mannix. As it looks like Czeslowski's had a couple of stops. No, that was his first stop that we saw him in. So yet to stop, Obertasano in front, Halil Caesar, Foster and Bradley Martin. So it'll be interesting to see who blinks first. And this will indicate how long these tyres are going to last. So if we see him come in the next couple of laps, and as I say that, Obertasano comes in. So what does Halil do? Does Halil come in? No, he wants to go out front as he takes P1 at the moment. Obertasano's still in the pits. So we should see Foster coming round the corner any second now. No, Foster's also pitting at the same time as Daniel. So he's keeping the strategy of Obertasano, just to know he's on the same cycle, as we see Brad Martin in the background also pitting. So definitely 20 laps seems to be the mark for pits. So I'd say 2 more pits, obviously. Lap 40 and lap 60. As Brad Martin takes his set. So this should bring Baker up the field as well. Currently in P6. Not too sure whether he's going to survive only 2 more stops. As Obadasato rejoins in P2. Foster still in the pit, or just exiting pits now. And Baker has jumped Martin in P5 at the moment. But he can definitely see Mannix in the windscreen there. Just ahead, he's only 2.9 seconds, 2.6 as they go down the back straight. And Caesar's coming for his set, so he's exiting now. Obadasano just went through screen. And we'll go see the gaps at the moment. So Foster down a 9-second gap ahead of Caesar. He definitely gained in that pit stop. And he's only 4 seconds behind Cesar. We'll just cut to a quick commercial break. We'll be back after this message. With thanks to our sponsors, Julie and James at Burley Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars Limited Edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching. Date, calendar, and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Jewellery on James. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to Sandown Raceway. We're on, what lap are we on? We're on lap 24 of 80. Bit of a monster enduro for us tonight, so there's 80 laps, double points. Usually we have 3 races of different lengths, a short, medium and a long race, but this one's definitely 3 times as much. So the guys will get double points after tonight's race. As we're watching David Baker in P5. Foster ever increasing his deficit, decreasing his deficit to Hello Caesar and Obadasano. I'm not too sure if he's smashing his tyres in the meantime, but he's really on a charge as he goes through turn 1 for lap 25. So you can see Hello Caesar right in front. Maybe Caesar got caught up behind Troy Cieslawski trying to give way there, but that's brought the gap down to 1.7 seconds. So Foster on a supercharge. This is definitely one of his favourite circuits, obviously. He's doing quite well. He's got a fastest lap of a 104.801. That's probably from his new tyres. Just said it, he's reducing the gap to Hello Caesar in P2. Baker in the pit again for his second set. It's only lap 25, so he needs to look after his tyres and stretch it out. So we watch Opposano go through. Coming to turn 1. So Baker drops down to P8 at the moment, while Licciardi moves up into P7, and that's not too far behind Brad Martin, who we can see in the blue Aces Ford Mustang in the foreground there. So Ross doing a good job there to keep in touch with Martin. And after that early incident, Mannix is really knuckling down and currently in P4. Seb Chalou covering P5 quite nicely, as he's got Martin in the background there. And as mentioned before, that's Licciardi just entering the main straight at the moment. Just taking turn 1, locking up the brakes there. The guys will get warnings throughout the race if they cut the track too much and receive a drive-through, as track limits is definitely engaged on this Sandown circuit. If you ever want to join us for the next one, we've got Bathurst in 2 weeks' time, and that's going to be another 90-minute race around Mount Panorama. So we see Zeb coming into turn 9 under heavy braking, just locking up the inside front. Seb's last lap was a 1:06.7, so that's quite quick. If he can keep that consistent, he'll stay up in top 5, hopefully by the end. Baker on a fresh set, starting to set some good times. We've got Scissor and Foster in P2 and 3. This is the battle that we want to see. Foster really getting on the gas early and taking that corner quite tight, which I'm not too sure if that affects his top end speed. You can see the gap, Foster behind. Taking the turns quite early, using the curbs to get the car to turn in tighter. Foster's gaining slightly down the back straight, but not enough to threaten Caesar at the moment, but I'm sure Caesar can definitely see him in the background as he dives in close on a T9. Definitely the car looks a lot more stable and composed there. And Opposano just up the road as well, so he's only 4 seconds ahead as he goes through turn 1. So Foster, with initially a 15-second deficit to these guys, has caught up through pit stops. They go through turn 4 onto the back straight. Should be able to see the battle here. So I've got Cesar and Foster. Foster really tightening up there on T9. He's definitely a bit stronger than Caesar in there, but Caesar gets out of the corner a lot quicker, so looks quite even through there. So we'll see what sort of speeds they get up to down the front straight, up to 260. Oh, really hitting the curb hard there. Definitely unsettling it, giving it away. As it looks like Jaslowski's off the grass in turn 4. Licciardi and Opedisano back together again. Opedisano getting past Licciardi quite cleanly. See Foster close up the back of Caesar, trying to get a good exit here. He definitely gets on the gas earlier for that tight line, but Caesar definitely stretching out. We've got 50 laps to go. Believe it or not, it's only lap 30 of an 80-lap race. Caesar running wide there, getting on the grass. One little mistake. That's let Foster up in the P2. I guess his next victim is Opedisano, only 2.7 seconds up the road. We'll see if Licciardi plays a part in this. Hopefully he obeys the blue flags. Oh, Licciardi getting loose there, almost spinning in front of the P2 and 3 of Foster and Caesar. But Ross doing a good job to stay out of the way there. So here comes Foster on the charge, chasing down Opedisano in P1. P4's Nathan Mannix. A bit of clean air for him back there. Bradley Martin 16 seconds further back. And he's got Seb Chilou. He's just past Seb Chilou in P5. Seb trying to tuck into the draft there. So come down through 6, 7, 8, deep into 9. Okay, so Mannix comes in for his second set. That's a bit early on lap 30. Okay, so Chilou and Licciardi, there goes Martin. And I'd say Chilou would gain on that pit stop as well. So Mannix rejoins in P6 after his second pit stop. But back up the front, Opedisano with Foster only 2.2 behind. And we've got Mannix right in the middle of that. So even though they're lapped, it's a short lap. It's only a minute 4, a minute 5. We'll see Mannix just making way for Foster to pass. Here comes Foster. You can visually see the gap reducing quite heavily. Foster definitely stronger, but it looked like he just went over the outside of turn 9 there, but he's still on circuit. He hasn't lost any time. Caesar trying to get past Mannix as well. I'm sure Mannix will move out of the way for Caesar as well. He'll probably do that down the main straight. Beautiful paint job on the cooler master entry of Cesar. He's done that himself, and it's come up a treat. He goes into turn 2 and 3. Okay, a lap later, Mannix has done the same to let Caesar through, and that's how you let drivers through. Technically, you don't have to get out of the way for slower drivers, but if it's an easy pass, you're better off just letting the drivers through so you can move on with your own laps and worrying about the cars behind you. Foster up to 1.9 seconds behind Obertasano. Martin just going through in P4 at the moment. So being a short circuit, I'd say the drivers are going to get lapped on their pit cycle. So we know that Mannix has come in a couple of times now. We'll just see the amount of pit stops everyone's done. So yeah, Mannix is the leader of the two pitters, with Shalou and Baker Licciardi, as Baker just takes Shalou there into turn 1 on lap 35. The guys are definitely sweating in here in the shop. Getting quite hot, and we've only got we're only just over a third of the way through. That gap slightly closing at the moment, 1.47 seconds. But it is closing, so plenty of laps to gain on Obertasano. Bit of a camera shake with the speed and weight of the cars going past. So Foster's driving for Foster Fence and Fix. As you can see on the bonnet there, as he's chasing the leader, Obertasano, 1.14 seconds behind the leader. Only 4 drivers still on the lead lap at the moment. But again, once the front set pit, that'll put everyone back onto the lead lap, or the top 3, I should say. Another penalty for Bryce Royal. Probably entering the pit lane a bit too hot. Not too sure if Foster's just comfortable sitting there at the moment, just watching what Obertasano does. Obertasano being quite dominant throughout the season. Looks like Royal just re-entering. Okay, so this is where the battle is at the moment. We're down to 0.7 seconds. Obertasano trying to break the draft there by staying on the inside. This is definitely where Foster's a bit stronger under brakes. We've got different tyre strategies too, so I can't remember if the white was the hard or the soft. I'm sure white is soft and yellow was the harder tyre. So I saw Caesar on the harder tyre before, so that's probably why he's dropping off the pace a bit. These guys really smashing out the soft tyre. We go on board Foster, looking straight ahead. Car's really getting launched on turn 2 curb. Not too sure if that's going to lose them any time or whether it's worth just avoiding that one and rolling heavy over turn 3. Got to brake early just to make sure you stay on the inside there, get a good run into turn 9. Car's got to come down to about 60k to get through that turn. They go under the Jim Beam Bridge into turn 12, 11 and 12. Running a bit wide there, Obertasano getting a good run there. It's a better sequence from Obertasano. As you can see, the gap just stretching out there visually. We've got Shalou and Baker swapping positions as Shalou's back up into P6 ahead of Baker, 1.5 seconds back. So he locks the insides, or just managed to get the car back under control. He's definitely getting loose there as he comes onto the main straight. go on board with Chalou at the moment. So he takes the curves quite hard, braking down to first into turn 4. Get on the gas early and get a good run out through turn 5 and 6. This track is built around the outside of a horse track. Very unprofessional way of calling it a horse track, but promotes itself as the home of horsepower. And with good reason, it's now Australia's oldest permanent motor racing facility, and also houses a busy horse racing circuit within its perimeter. Nestling within Melbourne's Springvale suburbs, the circuit today hosts 5 major meetings each year, the highlight of which is the annual visit of the Australian Supercar Championship. It is a good circuit. It's always renowned for the retro round, and unfortunately we're not actually going there this year in real life, as Bathurst is the next race and it's the last one of the season. Foster's still comfortable just sitting behind Opposano at the moment. And he comes in the pits early. So he's giving Opposano a bit of breathing space as we've got 40 laps to go. And Caesar's going to take back P2. So it's lap 40. That's definitely when the second pit was due. Opposano's probably going to do the overcut for a couple of laps, and so is Caesar. But I think Caesar's on he's on hard tyres, as we can see if we get close enough. The yellow band around the tyres. That's the it's opposite to the Formula One. So we always think that the yellow is medium and the white is hard, but I think the yellow is hard and the white is softs for V8 Dunlops. As we watch Caesar in P2 and Foster's rejoined comfortably in P3 ahead of Bradley Martin. So Baker's in pit lane, Licciardi's moved up into P7. Beautiful livery in the Boost Mobile Mustang for Tickford Racing. And Opposano's come in a lap later. So this is where the tyre strategy will come into play. Caesar's trying something different. Let's not watch that. Caesar taking P1. As we know, Caesar's on the hard, so he definitely needs to make this work. This should reduce the race by 1 pit stop for him if he's going to make those hards work. Otherwise, it's not worth it because he's going to lose a certain amount of time between each lap, I should say. So I got guys at home watching as well, so good evening to you guys. Jason Cooper and Supercar Reviews. So he was saying he was in the shop the other day. I'll just send you a link or Supercar's review and send us a message on Facebook if you can, and I'll send you a link to some information while the race is going. Okay, so back to the race. Foster's regained the lead. That must have been an error through the pit strategy. There's 2.5 seconds difference there, so he's dropped off. We see Foster going up in the foreground. While I was checking out what our viewers are saying, I've missed the lead change. So Foster's up into P1. An absolute stellar effort from him as he was involved in that first or second lap incident with Trent Group Belt running hot in turn 9, the one we're viewing right now, and he took Foster out, which put them both in the back of the pack. But Foster's on a flying lap at the moment, setting his PBs. He's ripping up the purple sectors at the moment, but he's not too far off his fastest lap of the race. He's already 3.5 seconds ahead of Opedisano. This is really going to help his championship standings. It's for Foster, Fence and Fix. Okay, Baker making a mistake in P8 in a turn 9. Probably got on the gas too early and cooked it. Just looping it there. He's still holding P8 at the moment. He's really got to knuckle it down. He's only 3 seconds behind Licciardi, so he's really got to concentrate and just watch his mirrors there. We've got Opedisano, Cieslawski just in front of him there. So Foster in the lead, 3.7 second lead over Opedisano. Caesar may have come in for another pit stop, and he's gone on to the the white Dunlop. So yeah, he's gone back to the softs. Definitely not working for him in this race. But he's still in contention. He's only 6 seconds behind the leader. So if we see the white tyre wall, that means he's on softs. He's got to get past Martin in P6. As Martin moves over, probably going to cost him some time making room for Caesar. As we see Chalou up in a P5, our rookie of the day in the Penrite Racing entry, doing a great job. As Martin's closing in on him at the moment. Caesar's on his PBs at the moment. As we can see on screen, he's got fastest Sector 2 time of the night. He posts a 105.257. That's his close to his fastest lap of the race. Traffic's always an issue. Being a short lap, you're always going to see lap traffic. It's how you deal with the lap traffic that's going to see you win the race, really. You don't want to get caught up in lap drivers, but the drivers are definitely doing a great job to stay out of the way. And having 2 main straights, it's a good circuit to do that. Not all circuits provide a good overtaking. As I was saying before, if you're a lap driver, you don't have to get out of the way of a faster car, but you just need to be courteous and predictable to the driver behind. You don't need to stomp on your brakes to let them pass. They'll get past you anyway. And it's the faster driver's responsibility to pass the car in front. Otherwise it's going to cost the lap driver too much time to give way to the leaders all the time. Okay, so Foster definitely dominating out front, P1. David Baker in the foreground, Mannix just going through screen at the moment. So, and we've got Martin on the back of Chalou. So let's go check that battle out. This is for position. For P5, being the top 5. So Brad struggling to keep the front end in. Seb doing a great job. He's quite consistent for a new driver. And that's what it's all about. Especially over 80 laps, you don't want to give away too much time. To your competitors, otherwise You're just wasting your time. So Zeb protecting the inside line there. Brad all over the back at the moment, trying to get past. You see Martin behind Zeb, trying to tuck in. There he is, closing in on under the draft. Won't be able to do much about it until we get to turn 9. Got to turn in earlier. Look at him close in there, but he's going to run wide, just making it as Zeb takes the tight line. But will Martin get the drive out? Coming up on the inside. And Martin gets the job done. Both great effort from both of the drivers there. Martin, a seasoned campaigner, as Zeb ducks straight in the pit lane for his next set of tyres. So got Bryce back in P9, doing a good job ahead of Cieslawski for the second of the Shell Helix Mustangs for tonight in the Coulthard entry. As we see Baker just behind. Bryce quite consistent there, nice and smooth out of the final turn, 13. And he gets a good run. So Baker unable to catch him down the main straight, but he's locked up into turn 1. You see those rotors really heating up now. We're 50 laps into the race, 30 laps to go. As we launch ourselves through turn 3 and miss turn 2 and miss turn 3. On board with Baker now behind Bryce Royal. This isn't for position as Bryce just runs wide onto the grass. And Baker gets through quite nicely. Quite a timely pass. Tom Foster still with the fastest lap of the race at 104.8. That hasn't been challenged this far back in the race. We'll probably see that happen in the last sector, last tyre stint. These guys really want to make sure, and there it is, 30 laps to go. They want to make sure that the tyres last at least 20 laps. As Foster's coming on lap 20 and lap 40. Okay, so we've got Troy Cieslawski in P10 at the moment. He's doing some good time. I'm not too sure what his last lap was, but his fastest lap of the race is at 108.769. Very good lap for him. And he's in the top 10 for today's race. Troy getting in the grass to give way to Zeb. It's nice, but it's hopefully he can stay on the track to let him pass. Otherwise he may spin it and spin in front of the lapping cars. Okay, so positions gained and lost. Mannix up 4 positions. His qualifying wasn't that great, but he's back up in a P4. Martin still, Shalou, Licciardi, big improvers, 3 positions. And Cieslawski also up 3 positions from the start of the race. Most of the guys have done 2 pit stops. I think Shalou's done 3, maybe he copped a penalty. Baker's done 3, and Royal, I definitely know, has received 2 pit stop penalties throughout the race. Chalou cutting some quicker laps now. He's on a fresher set of tyres. And Czeslowski's last lap was a 109.876. Okay, so back up front, Foster definitely dominating tonight. He's really showing a clean pair of heels tonight. He's definitely the fastest guy on track. Although Opedisano cutting 0.4 of a second quicker on that last lap. Caesar cutting the same laps as Foster, so the lead times there are pretty much going to stay as they are unless something happens through the last pit stop of the race. Maybe Caesar can go a bit longer on this set and then choose to pit a bit later than the guys in front, at least 3 or 4 laps, so then he can push it harder on the final set of tyres and it'll still make it to the end of the race. So we see Foster is on softs at the moment. And there's Opedisano 3.5 seconds behind. We're on board with Opedisano at the moment. He's brought the lead down to 3.47 seconds, so he's trying. But he could also just be managing that gap at the moment to Foster in front. So Mannix and Baker both in the pits for maybe their last set. No, it's probably too far out. That's 25 laps on a set of tyres. So we're on board with Martin at the moment in the Aces Mustang. Martin's currently in P4. Okay, so only 3 drivers at the moment on the lead lap. And Martin's got a full lap ahead of Nathan Mannix in P5. Chalou back up into P6. Licciardi P7, David Baker P8, Royal in P9 and Czeslowski in P10. Unfortunately, from the first lap incident, we've got Bennett and Murphy withdrawing from the race. Looks like Martin's the only one on track at the moment, but they're definitely out there. He's just got a clean track so he can cut his faster laps and try and gain on Caesar. The gap to Foster and Opedisano is still at 3.7, so that hasn't changed much. Foster just lapping 1/100ths of a second faster than Opedisano on that last lap, and Halil Caesar was a 106 flat, another 2/100ths of a second behind them. So at the moment it's Foster, Opedisano, Caesar, Martin, Nathan Mannix, Seb Chalou in P6, Ross Licciardi, David Baker, Bryce Roll and Troy Czeslowski in P10. Okay, so I'm trying to look for the on-track battles. The closest battle we've got is Licciardi and Baker. Baker just pitting for a fresh set. He'll probably need to pit one more time before the end of the race. And Baker sporting the Scott McLaughlin 17 car Shell Helix Ford Mustang. Just cutting to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after these messages. With thanks to our sponsors, Julian James at Burleigh Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars Limited Edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Julian James. Okay, so welcome back. We're on board with David Baker. He's in P8 at the moment. He's falling a bit behind Licciardi. Licciardi doing a good job to hold P7 at the moment in the Boost Mobile. Last lap was a 106.8. That's half a second faster than Baker behind in P8. We can see Mannix in the foreground there. He's still in P5. Bradley Martin in P4. Excellent job from him. Looks like he'll secure that for the end of the race, providing nothing else goes wrong for him. So great strategy from him as we see Caesar back in the pit again. Bit of a strange run. That's a short pit stop, lap 60. He knows those softs are going to last another 20 laps, so this will see him to the end of the race. As he rejoins comfortably in P3. Obertasano gaining on Foster at the moment. He knows they're about to pit for the last set of tyres, so he's pushing these tyres as hard as he can, trying to get the most out of them before he pits. Wouldn't be surprised. No, he's out for another one. But I think Foster's gone in for his set. So, yep, this is going to give Obertasano some breathing space and probably try another overcut. So the gap was about 2.2 seconds. So Foster, we'll see if Foster comes out in front of Halil at the moment. Where's Halil? He's on turn 9. And Foster's coming out of the... So that's quite safe. Safe exit, rejoining in P2. So I'll wait for Obertasano to make his final pit stop to see what the gap will be after that. Foster Fences and Fix is who Thomas is driving for. Foster's Fence and Fix. My apologies. Okay, so Obertasano out the lead. as he pits. Okay, this will be it. Only one lap, which is quite surprising. Maybe those tyres are a bit surprising. He should have, maybe those tyres weren't strong enough to gain for the overcut. So he's decided to pit. So let's see where Foster is at the moment. He's coming on the main straight, and Obadasano's just coming out of pit lane now. So I'd say Foster's definitely coming out, and there it is. There you can see the gap. As Foster just goes through turn 1 at the moment. The gap is only about 1.8 seconds. Don't worry about what it says on screen. That'll change once we go through the first sector. Okay, this is the race to the end, I'd say, with 18 laps to go. It's been quite a long one, this one. We're already an hour and 10 into the race. We should get the next 18 laps done in the next 20 minutes. So the gap's 2.4, not too bad. I think 0.2 of a second difference after that set of pit stops from each one. So now it's just up to track performance. Obadasano posting his PB in the second sector. Just so we can show you the sector times and see whether Obadasano is punching out fastest lap. But Foster's just posted the fastest lap of the race with a 1:04.793. And that's definitely him on his fresh set. Daniel trying really hard. And he's pushing now. He's on his PB, but he's still down from Foster, 1.1 seconds. 0.11 second from Foster. The gap is 2.3 seconds at the moment, so he's slightly catching. Just got to make sure he'll be there at the end with those set of tyres. Little Caesar still in P3. He's a further 9 seconds back. Mannix is in P4, but Caesar just in front. There's a full lap between those two. So even though Mannix will get closer to Caesar, it won't be the position, even though it's P3 and 4 at the moment. Shalil holding P5, still excellent job from him. Not too sure whether he'll have to pit again. My guess is that he will, as Martin's only 8 seconds behind, and we know he's just pitted as well. So I'll see how many pit stops each have done. So they're all on 3 at the moment, so technically that should be it for the pit stops, but as we see Licciardi just off track there, and he rejoins quite safely, letting Mannix through, Shalou through, I should say. I don't think that's for position. No, it's not. So Licciardi's still in P8. And that's Baker just ahead. Is that for position? We'll just find out with the gap to next. It is for position, so that's 3.8 or 4.2 seconds between Baker and Licciardi. Shalou in the Penrite car, he's a lap ahead. So it's very, very easy to get mixed up because it is such a short circuit. Obadasano posting the fastest lap of the race with a 1:04.671. That's the fastest lap so far. And the gap is closing down to 1.852 seconds. So I just turn on the trackside audio. Wow, we can definitely see the gap now. Opedisano means business. He's not taking this one, he says. He's trying to get right on the back bumper of Foster in front. This will be a 14-lap duel for the finish line. Who's going to take checkered flag first for maximum double point round? See the shadows getting longer on the track now, the sun's setting. Opedisano a bit wide there. Foster definitely taking a tighter line throughout the night, really saving him. The gap only 0.4 seconds. And this is for the lead. Okay, so that was Bryce Rogers going in pit lane in the background in the Shell Helix Mustang. Oh, Opedisano really getting up close into turn 9. These guys really need to make sure that those tyres are going to last to the end of the race, as they've definitely pitted right on the 20-lap mark. Although I think this one they stretched it a couple more laps just to make sure they can push some more at the end of the race. Opedisano tucking into the draft there, Foster moving in, so Opedisano doesn't take turn 1, protecting his line. Now, you can't get any closer, ladies and gentlemen. That's only same 0.4, but it looks a lot closer than that. 0.3 definitely. Opedisano trying to put off Foster. Going through turn 6, 7, 8. Deep under brakes, turning into 9. Good to get control. Opedisano getting a bit tighter that one. You can definitely see he's staying with him at the moment. Foster showing the inside because he knows he can't take it really. So Opedisano going in a bit slower but getting through a bit quicker. But Foster getting up to top speed a bit quicker there. This is the closest race on the circuit at the moment as we're racing for the lead. Double point round, 69 laps of 80. This is race 1 of our 2 Enduros. Both Sandown and Bathurst are the Enduros. So we see Opedisano tucking right in behind, going through turn 5 up the back straight. There's not much he can do here. He's not going to take it. Foster's a bit smart for that. He's trying to go around the outside. We've lost him. And he's gone around the outside. Incredible move there. I'm not too sure how he got that done. We just missed it as we were watching the back of Foster. Back of Opedisano, I should say. No, back of Foster. I was right the first time. Okay, I'm sure Foster's going to come back. So, oh, Foster's just got a bit too eager there. He's still got 10 laps to go, so there's plenty of time just to settle in, get in the draft, get himself up. Opedisano is still with the fastest lap of the race at the moment with a 104.671. Proud sponsors True Force, Logitech, Jewelry on James, Ned Whiskey, Red Bull, Moron Games. If you ever get a chance, check them out, morongames.com. And definitely like to thank FBR Factor, building a great V8 mod for R Factor 2. If you can, go to the workshop and just download it. It's a free subscription, so just click the subscribe button. And once you've done that, you can join us for the next race at Bathurst in 2 weeks' time. Looks like Chris Hicks has joined the chat. So has Jason Brooks. G'day guys, Jason Cooper. These guys have been part of the Racecentre family for quite some time as they join us for the best race we've seen in a long time. We've only got 9 laps to go and we can see the gap's only 0.3, not even that. Can't even see Foster's tucked in behind the rear wing of Opedisano. Will he make the same move Opedisano made? That was quite ballsy going around the outside. Foster does close in on at turn 9 there. Oh, Foster really making the issue. Trying to do the bump and run, but Opedisano's too good for that. Look at that, these two are on the limit, both lapping in the 106.5s. Foster's just trying to work out where his strengths are on the circuit and where he can overtake Opedisano. But you're going to have to catch Opedisano sleeping if you want to get past. But Foster's got the nous to get past, I'd say, so I can't put my $5 down on either of these two because they're both capable of winning this race for sure. There's only 2.6 seconds apart as they go through turn 9 under the Jim Beam Bridge. No extra sponsorship there. Thanks to Red Bull R Factor too. Okay, so we're going to take the 73rd lap of the race, 7 laps to go. Got Licciardi in the pits. Looks like Baker's moved up into P7. Chalou dropped back into P6, probably after another pit stop. I don't want to leave these two. This is going to be the race of the night. And we've got another 7 glorious laps to go. Definitely Opedisano changing the line so Foster can't guess where he can take it. Not much you can do there. See Foster going to get it here on turn 9. He's gone deep. Will he hold it? Opedisano broke early just so he could get through the corner. So Foster's probably shown his cards a bit too early there, because Opedisano is going to close that gap on the next couple of laps, I'd say, into turn 9. As Foster's getting right up the back bumper, there's an awesome race between the two. Foster's trying to come round. Oh, Foster's got up on the 2 wheels there. Took the curb a bit too hot in turn 1 and 2. Needs to get a good run up the back here, otherwise he's just giving it away to Opedisano. Again, there's only 6 laps to go, so he's still got time. Who's your money on? Let us know who'd you put your last $5 on. Opedisano or Foster in P2 for Foster Fence and Fix. This is definitely Foster's strongest section of the race. Turn 9, he's always shown that he's gotten in deep. We'll quickly go through the field. We can see Caesar in P3 going through turn 9 as Ross Licciardi lets him pass. Easy, nice job from the back markers. That's Mannix and Martin, but that's not for position. I think. Yes, it is for position, I should say. So there's another battle going on. I wish I had a picture-in-picture to show you both, but I can only show one at a time. Seb Shalou in P6 in the Penrite entry, doing a fantastic job in P6. I'll just quickly see how many stops he's made. I guess he's on 4. Yes, him and Mannix have gone on 4. So Shalou, Baker's comfortably in P7. Licciardi in the, as we saw before, in the Boost Mobile, he's in P8. Bryce Roll just spinning it on the last turn in front of a couple of drivers. Was that the leaders? Yes, it was. So that would have balked Opposano as Foster had plenty of time. There's only 5 laps to go. The gap's still 0.5 seconds, but that's not enough to be comfortable for Opposano. They're really going to be pushing these tyres to the limit, as it looks like they're launching like Evel Knievel through turn 2 and 3. I'm sweating here just watching it. I'd hate to be in the cockpit of these two. Watch Foster close in deep under brakes here. There he goes, right up underneath. Probably a good opportunity to give a little bump and run in the P9. I'm not promoting it, but if I was a betting man, I'd say you should do that to get past. Maybe a little nudge here. Opposano getting out of the final turn 13. Turn 12, I should say, nice and smooth. But again, we'll probably see Foster close in under brakes. As they go through turn 1, we'll quickly go to Martin and Mannix. Mannix just pulling out a little bit there now. The gap's 1.7 seconds as we go back to the leader. Still half a second in it. There's 3 laps to go. Can Foster compose himself to take the win of the evening? Foster's taken a different approach, but that one's not working for him as he tried to go wide and get on the gas early, but I think he carried too much speed in, so he couldn't get on until he controlled the car a bit. Definitely closing in here. But again, maybe he's cooked the tyres to keep close to Opposano as he doesn't get the drive out of turn 12 strong enough. Wow, this has been quite a race. 80 laps around here. It's almost a 90-minute, well, it is a 90-minute race. Down the back straight for the second last time. It's only half a second in it still. I just want to watch Foster close in behind. It's a great view of the Foster's new livery. Not as close this time around, so looks like the bubbles pop for Foster unless he closes in through this section. We'll see how well he does getting the drive out. But maybe Opposano, oh yes, looks like his tyres are getting a bit hot now as Opposano's definitely managed those tyres a bit better. As we can see in the final 3-4 laps of the race, definitely stretching the lead out to 1.5 seconds. Foster just overcooking it there. Bradley Munn just going slightly wide in P5, making sure he stays out of the way of the leaders. He'll probably finish in P5 at the moment. Mannix managed to gain back P4, which is I think what he expected in the earlier interview at the start of the race. Okay, lap 79 of 80, either last or second last lap of the race. Not sure if he just locked up there, but the gap's blown out to 3.3 seconds. Definitely Tom Foster starting to get a bit tired there in P2. Looks like the fight's over. Licciardi's close behind Baker for P7. So this will be a little bit of a battle. That's Baker in the Shell Helix car trying to get past Halil, who's dropped 18 seconds off the lead. But this battle for the Boost Mobile and the Shell Helix is for P7 at the moment, down to 1.8 seconds. So Baker's got to manage his tyres. I can see he's about 40% through his set. So should be enough to hold out, but definitely closing in. That'll be a close one to watch. Okay, last lap of the race, Opposano dominant throughout. Foster did a lot to get from the back up the front, which probably cost him in tyre strategy. So towards the end of the race, it's definitely showing as Opposano takes us across for the checkered flag. And that's a great win for Opposano. And Foster taking P2. Wow, that's a long one from the guys. Long time to concentrate on this race. So Halil taking P3, Nathan Mannix still on the final lap of his race. We'll bring home P4. We've already seen Bradley Martin cross the line just behind the leader of the race. So Mannix coming around to take P4. As Troy Kozlowski doing doughies on the main straight, and that's Mannix taking P4. Seb Chalou on his opening race finishes in P6, great effort from him. David Baker P7. So we'll just go to the race results now. So it's Daniel Opposano taking the win, double points, 40 points tonight. Thomas Foster in P2, Halil Caesar comfortable in P3, Mannix fighting hard to get back into P4, Bradley Martin in P5. Seb Chalou on his rookie outing finishes in a credible P6 ahead of David Baker in P7. Ross Licciardi doing a great job in P8. Swapping places with Baker, but losing out on pit strategy, I'd say. Bryce Royal P9 and Troy Kozlowski P10. We also had Trent Grubel, Marty Bennett and Ender Murphy in 11, 12 and 13 retiring early after the first couple of laps. Okay, so that's the end of the race. Thank you very much for joining us. Sandown, please join us again in 2 weeks' time for our coverage of the Bathurst race. We also have a full-length Bathurst race on the 11th of October, so keep your eyes out for that. And if you want to join us for 161 laps around Bathurst, please get in contact with us. There's still a couple of seats available. But for now, good night.